Alright, welcome to another video. This time we will be doing a little bit of optimization. Usually that's something I prefer to wait with till it's really needed, and in this case it is really needed. So I am trying to implement achievements in the game, but things are working a little bit too slow, so we need to optimize and fix a few things. So what I'm talking about, if we look here on the left on the planet scale insights, I can see that every time we have a query with quest history, it is reading a lot of rows and it's a little bit slow. It's still reasonably fast, but there's an issue here. I believe we're missing a database index on quest history. So that's one thing. Another thing is that if we look into the quest history database or table, we see quite a lot of rows. And I believe the reason for that is simply that we have duplicates in here. And this is not something we want. Basically, we want a unique entry for every user ID, quest ID. So we could try first confirming that we actually have duplicates just by running a select statement against the production database in this case. So we'll select user ID, quest ID, and a count of everything from quest history. And then we do a group by user ID, quest ID, like this. And we can see we sort on this one. We have some users, user ID, quest ID, where we have 4 accounts. That's probably 4 of the same daily quest or something like that. Should we just do a select here on this user ID? To confirm, we can see lots of dailies, and for instance this one we have 3 times. So that's an issue, and we will need to both remove the duplicates and also fix the main issue in the code base. So let's start with the main issue. So to figure out where we're inserting duplicates, I want to search insert quest history. And in a previous video, we implemented this upsert quest entries, which basically ensures that we do not insert several entries per user, but only insert entry into quest history if there's not one already. And then we have that both for inserting multiple and inserting single entries. But we can also see in our daily cron job here that we are inserting directly without doing this check. So I think to fix these duplicates from just returning once we've removed them, we need to use that upsert statement instead. So let's go to, we need to import that upsert statement here. Let's copy the name, we import it in here instead. And that's from, I think it was routers quests, isn't that right? Yes. And with this one, we can basically use that instead of all this stuff. So here it's found a new daily for a given village and rank and whatever. And if there is one, I don't think that's the right. I think the first entry is the drizzledb, and then it's the quest. And the last parameter was the update selector. So this is the one selecting from the users table, and that's basically this. So there was a previous video where we implemented this, and we just forgot to implement it here apparently, or maybe I forgot to commit it. Anyways, this should solve the issue of these duplicates occurring. So that's good. That's step 1. Then let's, before we start optimizing the index, let us just figure out how slow this actually is to see if we get a speed up. And I think right now we have fetch uncompleted quests. I think this is one of the queries being slow. That's probably this one with a left join and a left join. So this query is basically one of the culprits we're looking at. So let's try to get some timing on this one. If we now go to profile router, just to find some endpoint. This is just temporary. We'll import it here, just temporarily. And then we go to the get user query because this is running on each page load. And we'll basically try to call that function here just so that we can time it. We'll go console time. Can't remember. You can print something in there, but we'll just do it here. That's fine. Then we await that fetch with the database. Didn't it need a third parameter? Yeah, third parameter was the type. So in this case, we just do daily because we're just testing things here. Type end. And it's complaining a lot. Why is it complaining? Maybe it just needs time. Let's try running it. See if we get a timing for the query here. Yeah, so you can see that took 71 milliseconds to run the query. Let's run it once more. 300 milliseconds, so quite slow. 100 milliseconds. So that's our benchmark. We'll just we're doing this quick and dirty. Good. So let's try putting in an index. We go to the schema, quest history. We were already there. So this is where we will need to add an index, and I guess it's like up there. Let's see if Copilot can do. There we go. So what did it add? A user ID, quest ID. Do we need a completed ID? Quest history. Let's just inspect our query again. We are checking that it is null. So maybe it's a good idea to have that completed. I could imagine it also would make sense to have an index on the ID. And that's unique, so that's fine. Let's try pushing this to the database. Make db push. You're about to add which contains if the statement fails, you will receive an error. And we don't want to truncate, so this is fine. There we go. It was applied successfully. So we go try refresh again to see if it was sped up. 77, 32, 25, 24 milliseconds. A bit concerning, the first one was 77, but from there on it seems like it's worked. 80, 31. Seems like it's been improved. At least I don't think we made anything worse by adding these indexes. So I will monitor those a little bit over the next few days just to confirm that this actually improved anything. So the changes to profile that we used for benchmarking, we don't want to commit those. And then the last thing we will need to do is actually remove these duplicates from our database. And I did a little bit of research for this beforehand. So the way I found, if we have a big table like this, the best way is actually to create a new table first. So create table. Let's call it quest history new, which is similar to quest history. We do this, and we are on production, so that's fine. And this is an empty table with the same columns, so that's fine. Then the next thing we need to do is to insert into this new table, quest history new, from a select statement from the old one, quest history, where we only select the IDs that are in a subquery. And here now we just do max ID, which doesn't really make sense, but it'll just take one entry. And we select quest history. And then basically we do a group by here. Quest ID, user ID, similarly to before. So since we're inserting into a new one, we're not doing anything dangerous here. Let's see how that works. So now we should have some entries. It tells us we have 23,000 entries in this table now. Good. Let's just check here if we then have any duplicates. So if we select user ID, quest ID, count star from history new, and then we group by user ID, quest ID. We should only have entries with a count of 1. Perfect. So now we don't have any duplicates anymore. Then we will, so basically we have our data here, so that's fine. Then we will do something dangerous now. We will drop table, quest history. First, and then afterwards we change the quest history new, rename to quest history. Basically we delete the old one and swap in the new one. Perfect. And now our quest history does not have any duplicates, so that's perfect. And I guess I should have committed these changes first. That was not super smart, but let's just do that now. New, prevent duplicates in quest history, and create index. Perfect. So this will deploy. I hope we don't get any duplicates while it's deploying. I'll probably just check that to confirm once it's deployed. And if there are duplicates, I will fix them. But that's it. That should optimize things a little bit and prepare me for working on the achievements. Thank you guys for watching and looking forward to the next video.